How it feels to be Warren Buffett, making a $1 million decision every day. September 2008. The financial world is collapsing. Banks are failing. Investors are selling everything they own. Every news channel says the same thing. The worst is yet to come. Millions of people are watching their life savings disappear. Fear spreads faster than facts. Then, your phone rings. On the other end, Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest investment banks in the world. They need help. Fast. They're asking Berkshire Hathaway for $5 billion. Not 5 million. 5 billion. One decision, one signature, one mistake. Could cost more money than most people will ever see in a lifetime. The room goes quiet. Everyone waits for your answer. But you don't answer. Not yet. Because while everyone else is thinking about the market, you're thinking about something completely different. This is what it feels like. To think like Warren Buffett. Most people believe great investors predict the future. You don't. You know something they've never understood. The future can't be predicted. It can only be prepared for. So before you think about profits, before you think about stock prices, before you even think about Goldman Sachs, you ask yourself one simple question. Do I understand this business? Not the headlines, not today's panic. The business. How does it make money? Who are its customers? Why do people trust it? Can it survive a financial storm? Because if you can't answer those questions, you have no business investing. You close your eyes for a moment. You've studied businesses like this for decades. You've read thousands of annual reports. You've watched companies rise. You've watched companies disappear. Patterns begin to appear. And that's your real advantage. Not intelligence, not luck.
Most people are seeing Goldman Sachs for the first time through breaking news. You've been studying it for years. The market is reacting to headlines. You're reacting to decades of knowledge. Already, your mind is calmer than everyone else's. But understanding a business is only the beginning. Now comes the question that separates you from almost every investor on earth. You don't ask, how much money can I make? You ask, if I'm completely wrong, what happens? You imagine the worst possible future. Goldman Sachs fails. The economy gets worse. The financial crisis spreads. Markets keep falling. You don't avoid these thoughts. You welcome them, because fear ignored becomes expensive. Every possible disaster plays through your mind, one by one. Could Berkshire Hathaway survive? Yes. Would this investment destroy everything you've built? No. Could you still sleep at night if the headlines got even worse? Yes. Only after answering those questions do you allow yourself to think about making money. Most investors chase upside. You protect the downside, because one bad decision can erase 20 good ones. That's a lesson you learned long ago, and you've never forgotten it. Outside your office, the world keeps panicking. Television anchors shout over one another. Experts predict the end of the financial system. Investors rush to sell before someone else sells first. Fear has become contagious. But inside your office, nothing changes. No shouting, no panic, no rushed decisions, just silence. A notebook, a balance sheet, and another question. Has the business changed, or has people's emotions changed? There's a difference, a very big difference. Stock prices move because people are emotional. Businesses change because reality changes. You never confuse the two. That's why market crashes don't scare you. They slow you down. They force you to think. And while everyone else is running away from uncertainty, you're getting closer to it. Because somewhere inside the chaos, opportunity is hiding. You just have to find it. And before a single dollar leaves Berkshire Hathaway, there's one final test, one question, that will determine whether $5 billion moves or stays exactly where it is. Part 2, one question remains. Not, is this a great company? You've already answered that. The real question is can I make this investment even safer? Because you never assume you're right. You prepare for the possibility that you're wrong. You lean back in your chair. $5 billion isn't just money, it's responsibility. Millions of shareholders trust you to protect it. You won't risk it on hope. So instead of accepting the deal, you begin changing it. Most investors buy whatever is offered. You don't. You build the deal you want. First, you ask for preferred shares, not ordinary stock. Preferred shares. That means Goldman Sachs must pay Berkshire Hathaway 10% every year, whether the stock goes up or not. $500 million every single year, before you have earned a single dollar from the stock itself. Better, but not enough. You keep thinking, what if Goldman survives and becomes stronger than ever? You don't want to miss that upside either, so you ask for something else. Warrants, the right to buy millions of additional shares later at today's price. If Goldman recovers, your profits grow with it. If the recovery takes years, you're still collecting $500 million every year. Now the deal is starting to make sense, but your mind isn't finished yet. You ask for one final condition. Goldman's top executives can't sell their own shares until you sell yours.
The room falls silent. It's a simple request, but it tells you everything. If the people running the company believe in its future, they should be willing to stand beside you, not behind you. If their money stays invested, yours can too. Now something changes. You aren't betting on hope anymore. You're investing in preparation. Every possible weakness has been answered. Every major risk has been reduced. This isn't gambling. It's engineering. Outside, the panic gets worse. The market keeps falling. Financial news flashes across every television. Another terrible day for Wall Street. Experts call it the biggest financial crisis in generations. Investors keep selling. Friends tell friends to get out before it's too late. But you've seen this before. Not this exact crisis, but this exact emotion. Fear. It always looks different. It always sounds convincing. It always makes people forget one thing. Great businesses don't disappear because people are afraid. Prices do. You remind yourself of a lesson you've followed for decades. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Most people hear those words. Very few can actually live them. Today, you have to, because principles only matter when they're tested. The papers are placed in front of you. The room is quiet. Nobody rushes you. Nobody needs to. They already know. You've been making this decision for years. Not today. Every book you've read, every mistake you've made, every company you've studied, every market crash you've survived, they've all led to this moment. People think billion-dollar decisions happen in an instant. They don't. The signature takes seconds. The thinking takes decades. You pick up the pen. One final look. Not at the stock price. Not at the headlines. At the business. Then, you sign. $5 billion. Committed. Just like that. No celebración. No victory speech. No ringing bell. Tomorrow, the market could fall even further. And you're prepared for that. Because you didn't invest based on tomorrow. You invested based on the next 20 years. 3 years later, Goldman Sachs pays Berkshire Hathaway back in full. The investment earns billions in profit. Around the world, people call it one of the greatest investment deals ever made. But they're looking at the ending. You're thinking about the beginning. The real victory wasn't making $5 billion. It was refusing to think like everyone else. While the world asked, how much lower can a market go? You asked, is this still a great business? While everyone chased certainty, you searched for value. While everyone reacted to fear, you trusted your process. And that's the lesson. The greatest investors don't have a crystal ball. They have a framework, a way of thinking that doesn't change, even when the world does. Because making billion-dollar decisions isn't about being fearless. It's about asking better questions than everyone else. And sometimes, one better question can be worth billions.